Now when you try to add a migration, you see an error message which says your target project Rocky doesn't match your migrations assembly Rocky_data access. The reason is now you have to think about where is the data access or where is the DB context. That now lies inside the Rocky_data access. So the default project you have Rocky. If you run the migration on Rocky, that won't work. You have to change the project to Rocky_data access. If you do this, then it will work. But before it works, let me point out another error here. We'll keep it as Rocky_data access, but for some reason, let me make the utility as the startup project. If we try to add the migration, this time again we will see the error message. The message is your startup project does not reference Entity Framework Core.design. So we need to make sure that the startup project is Rocky because that has the Entity Framework Core.design. And then if we have the default project inside the package manager console as Rocky_data access and we try to add a migration, then it will work. Now the migration in this case should have been empty, but if you scroll down, what it's doing is it has the column name inside ASP.NET Users token. It's just changing it from 128 size to 450. It's doing that for the other columns with ASP.NET Users, and this is all related to identity. Now the reason it is increasing the length is because the ASP.NET Core security with authentication. That's the answer I got from Microsoft, but I'm not fully convinced on why they changed this. That being said, we can always update the database to increase the column size. Perfect, we just need to make sure of one thing. Where was the migration added? The migration was automatically added inside the migrations folder, and that proves that our separation of data access has been successful and all the new migrations will be added in data access. That being said, make sure that whenever you add a new migration, you have the default project as Rocky_data access. We did quite a few things in the past few videos. We have changed our architecture completely for our application, and now this architecture looks much more scalable. This is something that you should always keep in mind. Since our requirements were different in the initial phase, we decided to go with a simple architecture. But now since our requirements have changed drastically and this will become a big application, it is always good to reorganize your code and structure it in a proper way. So we have our skeleton setup for this course. That being said, let's continue with this in the next video.